start again. It's a redskin.
You know, it never ceases to amaze me, the internet experts that suddenly show themselves when they watch a video or they read something on the internet and want to put in their 2 cents. This car, as you know, I've been building for the past year and a half, almost 2 years. Everything is custom on it. I mean, there are maybe 4, 5 out of 10 times when I buy something that it actually bolts up. I mean, stuff that I buy stock usually bolts up fine. But everything else that is custom does not usually bolt up and requires some modification, as, for example, mirrors, totally custom, skinned with carbon Kevlar. The bases had to be drilled to match the holes on the car. The roll cage, totally custom built. I built it, made to fit in this car. Of course, the hood pins had to be cut out of the Kevlar hood, had to be spaced. Brake lines, totally custom. Fuel lines, totally custom. And I can go on and on and on about how much stuff I have put on this car that is not a direct bolt on. And I mean, you saw me have to modify the ARC intake so it would fit right on my car. And the seat brackets had to actually, the bases had to, even though they were made to fit this seat and made to fit this car, I had to drill out the holes a little bit wider because the bolt holes weren't matching. The Kevlar tailgate, I had to swap out all the bolts, had to do some modifications to make it fit better. Like I say, I can go on and on and on. Now, spoon rotors. Yes, you just saw all of the stuff I had to do to make these work. Now, I would say 99% of the brake pad is making contact with the rotor. There's about, I want to say 3/32. It's not quite an eighth of an inch. Is not making contact with that rotor. It's kind of sticking out further. Now, I can alleviate that problem by either pushing in the brake pad further in. I mean, yeah, I can fix all that. Totally custom again. And it did not directly bolt on to the EG knuckle. Those spoon calipers were made to fit Acura Integra Type R or EK Type R knuckles. Not meant to fit the EG. Again, these spoon calipers were not meant to be put on an EG knuckle, a Honda CX knuckle. That's why I had to go through all this to make sure that it made contact, was centered. The rotor was centered in the caliper, and the brake pad was making contact. This, and by no means, was a direct bolt-on procedure. If you've ever built a vehicle or a car from the ground up, rat rod, hot rod, import, domestic, I don't care. If you've built it, you know that 85 to 90% of the time, you have to modify something to make it fit. Especially if you're buying something that is made for a different car and you're trying to retrofit it to work on your vehicle. So anyways, rant is over. But I'm saying I tried to fix the hood pins or the hood pin yesterday. And the more I think about it, the more I am afraid that the welds are going to give out on the hood pins. I think I'm going to redo the hood pins out of stainless steel, the same style, but I'll be able to TIG weld the parts together and make it a stronger fitment. Like I say, I just don't want this, because I've had it happen before, twice actually, and it's not fun. And to spend all this money on a vehicle, windshield, hood, roof, everything, and then, have the welds give out when you're going down the road and doing 65, 70 miles an hour. Yeah, it's not fun at all. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and order some 3/16 inch bar stock stainless steel, and I'm going to redo these hood pins in that material. Now again, I know you can anodize stainless steel. I don't have the equipment to do it, so I might just kind of heat it up and do kind of like that neochrome look with the blue and the purples and stuff like that. I'm sure it'll look good. If not, I can just paint it. But yeah, I'm going to redo those hood pins. I'm just, like I say, I'm just afraid that thing's just going to give, and it's going to be a total catastrophe. So I'm in between projects here. I just finished these doors here for someone, and I'm waiting for the polyurethane to dry, and I decided to work on this thing. This is the water outlet or coolant outlet that I was talking about. I was trying to find a plug that would go into the head where this goes, but I can't seem to find what this thread pattern or thread pitch is. It's not a pipe thread. We've already looked at that, and so yeah, I don't know what pipe thread it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off about right there, and then I'm going to insert a piece of this thread that I cut off of a bolt and flatten it, push that piece of metal in there, and then TIG weld the top and then grind it flat, and that'll be the plug. Yeah, I couldn't find any info on what thread pitch this is. It's a really fine thread pitch, so you don't want to just grab any pipe thread and then just kind of force it in there and then it'll leak. But I figure if I do this, I don't need this outlet anyways, and I still need to plug up the outlet that's on the thermostat housing as well. But this one is a little easier because this is just steel, and so I can just TIG weld this and flatten it up. And with the other one, the housing on the thermostat, that's aluminum. So I'm going to have to use my aluminum welder to fill in that hole and then flatten that up as well. Alright, so there is the completed plug and the cutoff piece that I used. I just used the MIG welder, or TIG welder actually, to just weld in that plug. And so yeah, so that way, and I kind of pressure tested it to see if it was leaking, but it's sealed up, so I don't think I should have any worries about it leaking. I will put some thread sealant on, the threads, and then tighten it, of course. But I was just debating on whether to just paint it or give it a like a heat blued finish. It might protect it a little bit more, because if I just leave it like this, it's going to rust. So I'm thinking I might heat blue it and then just spray some WD-40 on it, and that'll kind of give it that black color. Let's see how that looks. So there it is. Basically, you just add, put some heat on it until it kind of turns a bluish color, and then spray WD-40 on it while it's still hot, and it kind of gives it this black oxide look. And basically that's what they do when they do gun parts. They call it gunmetal. They call it bluing, basically heat bluing, and that gives it a little bit of protection, corrosion resistance, and it'll kind of match the black parts that are already on there. So yeah, this looks like it'll work. Again, this is another one of my custom parts that you can't get off the shelf. It's not bolt-on. Well, it is bolt-on, but it's modified. But I mean, if any of you know of a company that makes a plug like this with these types of threads, or know what the thread pitch is, let me know. But this will work. I mean, it looks good, so this is what I'm going to use. And then all I got to do is do the thermostat housing, but again, I'll have to use my aluminum welder for that one. And this part is done. Right. So you may be asking yourself, John, how does this look on there? Well, there is your answer. And from the top here, you can't even tell that it was something I made. So the next thing on the agenda is removing this line and removing the housing, and doing basically the same thing to this port right here. I know this port and that port go up to this valve right here, so I can leave those. And then this one loops around, instead of being connected there, actually goes up to this guy. And then, so those have to be that loop actually has to be there. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove the housing, which entails removing this bolt and the bottom bolt that I made, and of course removing the 16 hose, and I think that's it. And then it just slides out, and then I can weld up that line, seal it up, and that way I don't have to use a plug or anything like that. Alright, so it's the next day, and I've gone ahead and cut off that little port that used to be right there. And on the inside, I got a piece of aluminum rod, cut it and made it fit pretty snug inside there. Originally I thought of just using the welder with the aluminum wire just to fill it in, but I thought there might be spatter that came out the back end and got in this opening in here. So I'm hoping that putting that plug in there will stop the spatter from going inside, and will actually help the bond a little bit better, I went ahead and sanded off the outside part, and then on the inside used a Dremel tool with a wire wheel and cleaned on the inside, and then I used some cotton swabs with some acetone and cleaned it in there real good. I was told by an aluminum welder that you have to get this stuff pretty clean to get a good bond on it, and that's probably why I've been some of the parts that I've been doing before have been breaking off at the weld. I mean, I've been grinding them and sanding them, but I haven't been cleaning them with acetone. So hopefully this will this will hold up a little bit better. And then after I weld it, I'm going to see how the weld looks. I might just leave it or grind it back. We'll see how it looks. Alright, so there it is. It's wet because I just had to cool it off after I welded it, but yeah, I think all I got to do is just give it a coat of paint, and that'll be blocked off. Final test will be when you actually get pressure in the cooling system and see if there's any leaks. But I sealed it up pretty good. I actually did one pass and then grinded it back, and then did another pass because the first pass that I did was a little porous, so I just sanded it, grinded it a little bit, and then gave it another pass. So it should be sealed up pretty good, and the inside looks pretty good too. So yeah, so that one's done. Hey guys, well, good morning. Yesterday was a pretty long day. Went out of town and installed a bunch of stuff that I've been working on for a customer, and then I had to drive 4 hours to pick up a thickness planer like that guy, and drive back, and so basically got back about 7, I guess. And the monsoon seasons arrived. It has been raining nonstop for the past 2 days, and everything is just muddy and wet, and it's puddled up here. So today I wanted to bleed the brake system and install the thermostat housing. I did put fluid into the reservoirs, and I can actually do the master cylinder, the slave cylinder for the clutch, so that one can be done, and then I can start working on the brakes. I kind of wanted the sun's out, and it's not cloudy anymore, so I'm hoping that it's maybe gonna dry up some of this water that's over here. I really wish I had a garage. But yeah, this is gonna be done. And I had an idea last night, and I found a good deal on some supplies, and I'm gonna try it. Not to say that I'm actually going to use that piece, but I'm going to try my hand at welding titanium. For some reason, I can't find anybody that makes a titanium intake pipe for this car. And so I found a good deal on some 2.5-inch titanium pipe. And I was looking at videos last night on welding titanium. And, other than flooding or, basically purging the system of all oxygen on the inside of the pipe, it doesn't take a lot of heat to weld titanium. So I'm going to try it and hopefully make myself a titanium intake pipe. And I still have the A or C intake pipe or intake box and chamber as well that I can use, but I kind of like the way the titanium looks, and it'll probably just be for like show anyways, because it's not going to have a filter on it. So yeah, it's that. I'm gonna try my hand at that, but we'll see. You'll see that coming up in the next couple of videos. All right, so looks like the clutch is working. I don't see any leaks, so that's a good thing. And I bought this pneumatic bleeder yesterday at Harbor Freight when I went out of town. And this thing right here, the bleeder screw is really close to that header, and I couldn't put that fitting on there to catch the fluid. So what I had to do was pull off the bleeder, kind of shove this inside the hole and hold it while I press the trigger on that thing. And it looks like it's working. I just put the camera right there and went and pressed the pedal a couple of times, and it looks like it's working. So yeah, there's one down. All right, I got brakes. It's actually been about 4 hours since I first started recording, but that pneumatic brake bleeder, man, that thing is just awesome. Usually, I had the manual one that used to just squeeze, and then you'd have to, release the thing, all kinds of stuff, but or do the 3 pumps and then hold it, and then put a stick there to hold it in place. But that pneumatic thing, I mean, that thing is awesome. I mean, it took me only probably maybe about half an hour to do the whole thing, and I checked for leaks, and I did have one leak in the clutch banjo area, and I got that, so that looks like that's taken care of. But I was going to hook up this hose back, but when I put it on, you can see that it kinks right there, so I gotta get a spring, and then you kind of shove it inside there where the bend is, and it kind of stops it from kinking like that. So I didn't even finish hooking that up. So I did that, and I finished putting on the little separators, the hose clamps on the bottom for the fuel lines. Finished hooking up that rear e-brake line, and then I gotta order some cable clamps like I did for the fuel lines for these guys, so I can put them up. You can see that one down at the bottom is kind of kinked, so I'm gonna kind of fold it up a little bit, probably run it up through the top like this, and then put the clamps on there, hold it all together, kind of separate them. I'm still waiting on the rev nuts to put these clamps on the bottom to kind of tie up the fuel lines for good. And I can already hear the thunder off in the distance, so I'm kind of rushing right now to get things done. I was going to put the dashboard on, but I was like, well, I gotta hook up the throttle cable before I do all that, and just found out that the throttle cable I have is for a left-hand drive vehicle, and it's too short. So I got online and was looking for throttle cables, right-hand drive throttle cables, and I found one from New Zealand or something like that, and it was just beat up, so I decided not to. And then I started looking at other throttle cables, and I found that K-Tuned makes a right-hand drive throttle cable for I'm sure it's for a K-series, but still, the throttle cable usually goes off from that side to this side here, so I'm sure it'll be long enough. I ordered it without the bracket, because they usually have a bracket with the when you put on a K-series engine. So I ordered that, and I'm fingers crossed. I'm sure. I'm more than 95% sure that it's going to work, because I looked at the ends, and the pieces that connect up to the throttle are good. The pieces that hook up to the throttle body are good. Of course, I just need the clamps or the cable you know, stays for the intake manifold. And so yeah, that's done, and then that's hooked up. And what else? So yeah, this is, I guess I didn't show a close-up shot of this guy, but that's how that looks there with that port blocked off. And of course there's that guy. So I mean, it cleans it up, you know. So yeah, done with that. So I ordered this thing back in April from a company in Russia that made the only ones that I could find, actually, because Password JDM didn't have any, and of course they've gone out of business. Spoon, I couldn't find any of those. There was another company that made one, but of course they were out of stock. So I found this one and ordered it. And they sent it off, you know, it said it was shipped. And 4 months later, I go to the post office this morning, and there is a tag saying that I have something waiting for me. So I go and pick it up, had to sign for it, and I looked at the package, and there was some Russian writing on it. So I was like, huh, did it finally show up? And I was like, all right. So I opened up the box, and sure enough, there it is. So 4 months later, I finally get it. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait to put this thing on. And the damn thing doesn't fit. You can see, let's see. I can line up the bolts. I guess no. Well, that's good, I guess. See how it overhangs right there. So, for those of you that are saying that stuff like this doesn't need to be modified, that it should fit perfect, I shouldn't ever do this, ever, period. You are wrong. Because everything on this car has had to, well, the majority of the stuff, I'd say about 95% of the stuff on here has had to be modified, made to fit, whatever. And this is just one of the examples. So, another example, let me show you, is these guys. I tried putting on the harnesses into that hole right there, and they didn't fit. So the ones that came with the harnesses had a bolt, and it was really short, and I couldn't fit it inside the hole that's right here that holds this in place at the same time. So I can hook this. Oh, here's the other one. So let's see if I can take it out here. Hold on. Okay, so here is the bolt that came with the harnesses, and here is a bolt that I made. I just found out, and I hope I found the right one, because every bolt that I found I had in my little bolt bucket there, none of them fit. And so I took this bolt, which fit perfect on all of the mounting points in the back, and I got a bolt that they had there. This was a socket cap, and I cut it down and then TIG welded it to this guy. I just cut the threads off of this one and then welded it onto the top. So I'm going to see if it works, and I'm hoping it does. If not, then it's back to square one, and I might just end up putting this here and then putting a nut or something like that. I don't know. Well, let's see if it works. So immediately after I started putting on these bolts, it started raining, and it rained all night. But I was able to get them on. And there you go. I made sure when I welded them that I grinded the bolt at an angle. That way there'd be enough penetration with the TIG weld to the eye of the bolt. And so it's pretty strong. Actually probably stronger than anything else I have here. So, but yeah, this is these are on finally. I did forget to put the spacer on the other one though, so I'm gonna have to take it apart again and put the spacer on the inside. But other than that, everything seems to be going pretty good. I'm just waiting on some bolts for the seats, so I can finish those, and I should have my throttle cable in by Friday, hopefully, so I can put that on and then start assembling the dashboard, and then start putting in all these, finish bolting on all these things for the last time, hopefully. Here are one of the hood pins, redesigned with the stainless steel 3/16 actually. With everything's made out of stainless steel except for the little washer, but the entire thing is constructed out of stainless steel. I had tried to do the bluing method, and it just kind of looked like, I don't know, I didn't really like the way it looked, so I did a brushed stainless steel look, and it looks pretty good. I don't know, I might still just paint it black, but still it looks really good. I did some pretty good welds on the spacer, so, and it's plug welded on the top. It's sanded smooth, so you can't even tell that the bolt is welded on the top here. This is actually welded down at the bottom. You can see that. And so it's stronger. And that was the reason why I was afraid to go with the aluminum one, because I was afraid that this part right here would break off. And that was the last thing I wanted to happen when you're driving down the road doing 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. So, yeah, this one is done. I've already tested or put it on and tried it. It bolts up. The pin slides in. It fits. It fits good. So, I'm waiting. I'm actually going to finish the other one first before I actually bolt them on, because I have to, of course, remove the headlights and the front bumper, all the front stuff again, in order to bolt these on correctly. And so, yeah, this one is done. And like I say, I'm still kind of debating, and I have maybe a day or so to figure out if I'm going to actually paint them. I think the stainless actually looks pretty good the way it does. I have the base set on this one here, so I can figure out where to put the little tab or ear with the holes on it. So yeah, this goes on here, has the little rubber backing so it doesn't completely destroy the paint. And yeah, and also, I got the spring and I put it inside the hose here, and you can see that the hose bend looks a lot better. It's not kinked or anything like that, but when I was tightening it up, it looks like the I don't know, that little hose clamp either stripped or something like that, but it wasn't clamping hard enough. So I'm gonna have to pick up another one or something like that. But other than that, it's no biggie. But at least it's not kinked like it was as bad. And then I got to order some more hose to hook up the hoses that go up to the idle air control valve. And so yeah, but yeah, these are done finally after, I think this is the 6th one that I've made. So yeah, it looks good. I think it looks good. I don't know. And then like I say, I'll just bolt them on after I finish this guy, and then I will tighten them up. Hey guys, so I got something in today, which is weird because I just ordered it on Monday, and today's only Thursday, and it came from Thailand. Yeah, the first one I ordered, I was scammed on eBay, and I have to wait until next Wednesday or Thursday to see if I can get my money back. I mean, I'll get my money back. It's just I gotta wait, until then. This one I ordered, like I say, on Thursday, and the only thing it didn't come with was the little cap that goes right here. This, if you don't know what this is a long armrest for the Honda Civic. And it came in a gray color, kind of like this right here. Of course, I need black because all of my interior is pretty much black, except for, the stuff that I covered with the bride material. And this was gray as well. I used some RIT fabric dye and dyed this. There was no rips or tears on it or burns, so that was good. And it looks like it's gonna dye pretty good. So I just gotta let it dry. I did put a coat of adhesion promoter first over the plastic stuff, and then did a black gloss paint over it, the rest of this stuff. So we're just gonna let this dry and see how it comes out. Hood pin number 1, stainless steel. Hood pin number 2, stainless steel. Needing a little bit of touch-up paint, but they're in, and they lock up. And it also seems like I had a little bit of excitement while I was away. A bird seemed to have splat on the windshield, or on the hood first, then on the windshield, and then in a daze climbed up the windshield, walked this way, did something there, and then jumped off. So I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, a little bit of excitement while I was gone. All right, here it is, the next day. It's all dried up. Even the cushion is all dried up. So yeah, in the end, I forgot that I have the parking pole button, so I didn't actually have to even paint this guy, but whatever, it's done. I still have to find, and I'm pretty sure the cap that goes right here works from the regular consoles. So I think I already have one. It did come with a bracket underneath. I just got to figure out how they mount up. But this is all done. And like I say, this was the last piece to the interior pieces that I needed. I already got, I got this. I got the SIR gauge cluster, the right-hand drive console. So yeah, this is just needs to be bolted on, and this will complete the interior pieces. And I think yeah, that's it's getting closer. I'm just, like I say, I just need to get that interior harness sorted out, whether I'm going to buy one or try and make the one that I have work. I know the guy that I bought my engine harness from, he's going through some surgery, and I think he might even have cancer, which is hopefully everything works out good, bro. But yeah, this is one of those things where it gets a little bit closer to being done. Just need a couple more pieces. And thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for all your support. Hopefully I can get closer to being done before I have to take it into storage for the winter. We're in August 1st actually today, and so usually I run through August and September, a couple of months. When you think about it, it's quite a long time, because I've done quite a bit since I brought it out of storage for the summer. So, you know, basically all I need to do is get the wiring done. I do want to send off my ECU to get the Honda kit put on there, or the plugins, and get it all ready so I can tune the car when I have it all running. And then I think that's about it. Yeah, once I get that done, I already have the fuel lines, I have the brake lines. All I need is the wiring, and just little things here and there, just to get it done. So hopefully, like I say, by the end of September, hopefully I can get it done by then, and then get it running by next summer, get it tuned, and hopefully it'll be done by next summer. I don't know, we'll see. But like I say, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like this video, and share it all with your buddies, and see if I can get some more subscribers. I think we're hitting about 5,500 right now, so hopefully I can grab at 6,000. We can do a giveaway, and but stay tuned for that stuff. But yeah, thanks, guys.